Hi, how are you doing? Welcome to Pagan Goddess Tarot. I am going to do a reading for the zodiac sign of Virgo for January 2021. Um, I just wanted to apologize that these are late. I felt it was necessary to do, especially after 2020, I felt it was really necessary to do the yearly readings, which pushed me behind on the January readings, and I apologize for them being late. But I do work 6 days a week. It's very hard for me to schedule time, and I mean, uh, the reading tarot takes a lot of energy. So, just please forgive me, work with me, and just bear with me. I'm learning as I go. I'm relatively new at. I'm not new at reading the cards, but I'm very new at the YouTube. The technology is it has surpassed me. So again, I apologize for these being late, but you know, I hope you enjoy them anyways. So, this is for Virgo. Even though it is a general collective, I'm sorry, even if it is a zodiac reading, it is still a general collective reading. So, it's always, it's always the same. No matter when you find a reading, if it resonates with you, it is meant for you. It can be 20 years later. They're timeless. These readings are timeless. So, um, if you like, I mean, if it resonates with you, take what you need. Take what goes for you. If it doesn't resonate with you, then leave it for someone else. It's not for you. Um, you may find later that it does start to resonate with you. I'm sorry, I've had an exhausting day, so it may resonate with you later. That means it's fortune telling. That's, it just hasn't happened yet. You're more than welcome to watch the videos on the channel or rewatch the videos on my channel again. I have been having a few problems getting into some of my readings into the extendeds into Patreon. I think I've got it corrected, but I'm not sure. I'm not exactly sure what I was doing wrong to begin with. I tweaked a few things, and they seem to be working. So, you know, just bear with that as well. I will get a handle on technology. I promise you. So, that all being said, if you like the readings, please hit like, subscribe, and share. Remember, these are timeless. You can find them 20 years later, and they work with you. When you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, hit the bell icon, and that'll notify you if I give you when I post future videos. And it helps the channel grow substantially. You just would not believe how much that little push on that button does that. It's just amazing. I don't know what their algorithm is like, but I'm not sure anybody knows what their algorithm is like. But boy, liking, subscribing, and sharing shoot you up like crazy in the ratings. So now I have to do a disclaimer. If you are under the age of 18, you are not supposed to be watching this channel because I do have full frontal nudity in some of the cards. I don't think there's any sexual connotation except for maybe one of the cards, but it's YouTube standards, not mine. But I will say, if you are under the age of 18, the minor arcana is about living life and learning life experiences. And that's what you should be doing at your age. Not focusing on that. It's very rare that I would read for anybody under that age. I have done so, and it was under very extreme circumstances. It's also a maturity level. Some people are more mature at 14, 15 years old than some people that are at 28, 29. It's a maturity level. It's a spiritual level. Yeah, I'm not going that far. I, let's just go with maturity level. It depends on how high you vibrate and what the situation is. Okay. But like I said, for personal reasons, I don't really like to do it because there are times when I see things in the cards that are very, very amazing. But I also see things that are make a tower moment look like a cupcake. And I might give a warning. But if you're under 18 and I tell you something like that, you can lower your vibration and make it happen. So I don't know how to explain it, but there's just some things we don't need to reveal. And at certain ages that we don't need to reveal. You have to have a certain maturity level. And so I just don't do it. So, okay, enough of all that. So let's get back to the readings. I do pre-shuffle a lot of my cards, or actually all my cards, so that you do not have to sit and listen to the shuffling. I don't mind the shuffling because, we're actually shuffling. And I actually feel when I'm supposed to stop and pull a card. But I mean, it's just a courtesy for y'all. So the first card is going to be from the Spirit Animal Oracle, and it's called the Koi Fish Spirit. And it says there is always enough. All right, there we go. Now, I pull from the Oracle decks because they have powerful messages in and of themselves, and they really don't need any help. But I have found that when I do the tarot card portion of the reading, the Oracle cards will highlight points that they are trying to get across to you in that reading. So they work in tandem. It's really cool. You just if you haven't been here, you'll figure it out. You understand. You will understand. It's not hard. Okay, and you got the Medicine Guardian. And it's telling you to be open to healing information. And after 2020, I think we probably all going to get that card for sure. It was a rough year. I don't know about y'all, but it was a rough year for me. Still is. But it's a new year, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, so the other card that I got was Oracle. And it's telling you to wait for important information. Whoops. Now I'm going to use a Celtic Tarot deck to do the tarot portion of the reading. It's going to be, I used to call it a 5-card spread until it turned into 12 or 15 one day. So I'm going to call it a 5-position spread. If multiple cards come out and they're applicable, I'll take them. It depends on whether they pop out or whether I drop them. I mean, if I drop 15 cards, we're not reading them. And occasionally that happens. So it's going to be the past, the present, the future. Advice from Spirit and the most probable outcome if you follow Spirit's advice. And in the past, Virgo, we have you being the 4 of Swords. That's not necessarily a bad energy. That's actually a good energy. You're resting and reflecting. You're thinking about things. That's kind of like doing a life review. You're, and how that came about was that when knights would go into battle, when they came out, they would literally go into their tombs and lie upon their coffins. Okay? And contemplate. They would think about how was that fight won? Was it worth it? Was it justice? Were we fighting for the right thing? You got to remember, knights would have had Arthurian morals, standards, integrity. Even today, warriors still have that. It's honor, integrity. and don't get me wrong, of course there's some that don't, but they're, they're in there to, some people go in there to fight to save people, and other people go in there to fight so that because they have a rage thing, or they like to kill. I mean, people have all different levels, but these people would have been lying on their coffin to rest and reflect and decide, am I fighting for the right thing? Do I need to stay in this fight? Those kinds of things. Am I honor bound? And it's not a bad card. It's a good card, because, in a way, not obviously nothing like the battles that they were involved in, but in a way, we have our own battles. All of us have our battles every day. Okay? And in the present, we have the Three of Shields. And this is calling it mastery. You have all one up here, which is spirit, the three rays of light. Over here you have the craftsman who has mastered something. And then here you have merchants, as somebody coming to commission him. They've either outlined in words and or drawings what they would like for their sculpture. And this person has become skilled, very skilled. They've mastered it. This isn't just a, well, I hate to put just a journeyman. I'm not saying that someone can't carve what they want. This is like the Michelangelos and the Leonardo da Vinci's. Okay, they're masters. Okay, and it talks about you mastering something. It doesn't have to be sculpting, but it is definitely something in your life that you are mastering. Okay, and apparently well enough that you can find abundance from it. So in your future, you're looking at equilibrium. This is a High Arcana card. It is very powerful. She has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on land. She has 2 cauldrons. The water is perfectly balanced in between, and it's an impossible, per se, by physics standards, a way for the water to react. But hey, who needs physics when we have magic? And behind her are the two. I think it's Boaz and Joaz are the towers behind her. Those are the ones that stand between the moon. That's the ones the High Priestess cards. That's the division between the material world, the 3D plane in which we live on, and the spiritual guide. It's called the veil. You'll hear that sometimes in the old people, older, like me, talk about the veil is thin this year. That's there's like a barrier between, it's like the gate. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was a show or something on television. I remember seeing, and they used to be able to jump the portals and jump times or jump into different areas. Point being, she would stand before that because she's got the wisdom to know whether you need to be, what are you going to do? She holds all the wisdom because she would have been the high priestess. Does that make sense? And that's before you go between the worlds, where you go in from, you crossing over between the physical and the spiritual world. So we got the King of the King of Pentacles. Well, in this one's it's King of Shields, but this is Spirit's advice. And this is really good advice because, for one, if you look at the card, obviously he's very wealthy and he's a king. He's also a magician, but that's beside the point in the context of this card. If you look back here, it's the middle of winter. See all the snow? There's holly growing. Well, I mean, it's typical for holly to grow in the winter, but the hedgerow behind him is significant in the green and the red, showing that abundance, his crops and foods and things are abundant in this kingdom. His throne, the two boar's heads, that's abundance. I mean, it's a harsh reality, but in those times, people weren't able to consume enough calories like we have now, because we didn't have they didn't have processed foods, and they literally had to have proteins or die. So, animal protein, so, or die. So, I mean, the boars would have been a very significant part of their abundance and their survival. His robes, of course, the green and the purple are royal colors. He's holding the shield, and the girl is not a servant. She's actually a representation of his kingdom. She has her feet in the cold snow, and so does he. He has one foot, but he has the other one. She's not warming his foot. It's representative of his feet are in the lap of the people of his kingdom, so to speak. And she's very young. She's very caring for him. She cares very much for him because he is where all the blessings come from. And he's older and she's a child, and he's teaching her. He is literally teaching her. But this is the king that would hide out and go down to the pubs. He would disguise himself. He would go to the pubs. He would go to the marketplaces. He listened. He talked to people, and they didn't know who he was because, of course, they didn't have television then, and nobody knew what he looked like. And he was obviously disguising himself as well. He wasn't wearing those robes when he went down there. And he listened. He had the heartbeat of the nation. He knew what was wrong. What were the farmers? What happened this year with the crops? Okay, was it good year? Bad year? Why? What happened? Who lost cattle? Why? Or who lost their livestock? Why? Was it negligence, or was it the wood had rotted away because they were too poor to do? You're getting the gist. What needs to be done? The roads are atrocious. He knew everything that was going on in his kingdom, and nobody knew that it was him. And so, while he did take his advisor's advice, he went down and he had the pulse of his people. So, and that's the kind of energy that you're moving into. I'm sorry, I get really, it must be important, because it was real. Well, it's Spirit's advice. Of course it's important. So just think about that. Think about what everybody else around you needs and wants, and how you can provide it, because you have to think outside of the box sometimes. All right. And so what is the most probable outcome if you follow Spirit's advice? And it is telling you, it's giving you the Queen of Swords. Now, before you have a heart attack. Okay. The Queen of Swords is, she is who she is. But she sees things from a higher perspective. And I think that's where they're going to. Okay, you see how high her throne is? But you see that rainbow between her thoughts, emotions. She's not an emotive person. She's up here in the mind. Emotions are down here in the water, but she's the bridge between the two. She is also she's been through hell and back, so she's a very good counselor. She will tell you, but she's not going to tolerate emotional breakdowns or repetitiveness of emotions. She thinks clearly and logically. She also understands the emotions behind it because she's lived it. And so she's going to give you the advice that she feels that you need for the question you pose to her. but she is not afraid to cut away things. If you're draining her energy, she doesn't have time to sit there for hours while you cry. That's somebody else's job. She gave you the advice, you take it or leave it, and off you go. There are other people in line that need to talk to her. She is a queen. She's running a kingdom, you know. So you might need to be a little bit more like that, okay? And I think because we went through so much abundance and we're here in a balance, I think when we get back to here, it's because you may be worried that you're not going to have enough. But there is always enough. And then, you know, you have this card, and obviously you have to be open to healing information. Okay? And like the Queen, you need to wait for important information. Okay? It does come in. Then that's another thing. She doesn't just try, oh my God, let's do this. No, she doesn't do that. How bad is it? She wants to know. Okay, the bridge broke. Okay, how big is the bridge? Did the flood wash away the bridge? Okay, is there a bridge 20 feet down the road? Or, you know, are we talking 20, 30 miles for people to have to be able to cross over? How significant is it to build the bridge? I mean, can we just throw some logs down there and we'd be all right to temporarily put one in while we build one? She thinks like that, okay? Not, oh my God, you know, no, she's not that person. And so I think that's part of what Spirit is trying to get through you. All right. All right, Virgo, let's see. I think we're going to use the Marchetti Tarot Royale. I hope I said that right. I'm not sure, but I'm still trying to give the credit where credit is due. And we're going to start clarifying some of these cards. So, that's actually not a bad place to be. Alright. Oh. So, I think that you or someone is contemplating how they're going to do this. They're going to offer a cup of love. So that might be you, and it might not be. Okay? It could be somebody coming in for you. If you're resting and reflecting, it could be somebody that offered you a cup, and you don't know where it's going to lead to. But the Spirit is telling you, Virgo, it's going to lead to the Ten of Cups. It's going to lead to the little lighthouses for you and me. I mean, look at that. The actual depiction of this is the guy, I'm sorry, there's a man coming home from work. Keep in mind, this is in medieval times. There's a man coming home from work, and this is what he sees. He sees his beautiful wife and his daughter. He sees his home. It's an idyllic home, and he has the geese, and he has livestock, and he's very happy and content, and that's why he works, okay? And so he's trying to master something. So somebody's trying to master something. And at the moment, they're sitting in the position of the Hanged Man. That is the crane position, upside down, and they're waiting for information, just like the Oracle. Wait for more information. They're trying to see things from a higher perspective. Okay? They're trying to see things from a higher perspective. Yep, I can build that, but do I want to? You know? Is this something that's going to be good or something that's going to be bad? And this is going to bring about the Nine of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. And she's about abundance. Okay? That could be you or somebody you want. Okay? And she's very nurturing. She's very earthy. She likes her physical pleasure. She likes her fine things. You know, the peacock, the gold, the pentacles, the beautiful clothes. But she's also down to earth. And the reason that she has those things is because She understands how the crops work. She knows when to plant, how to plant, what to plant, when. She knows when to harvest the grain, how much to harvest, what needs to be done, how to nurture them, how does she fertilize them, how do you keep diseases and pestilence away. She knows all of that, and that's why she is so abundant. And if she's married to that king, which would make sense, then that's why he's so abundant, because she knows what the hell she's doing down there. Okay, she's very good at what she does. She's a master at it, quite frankly, and that's part of that mastery. So I think what it's telling you is to, you can take your time. Just take your time and reflect, and it'll show you what you're supposed to do. Now with this equilibrium card, we have abundance, a passionate new beginning. Okay, that's something very creative. That's fire. And I like how it's balanced with the green of the earth and the river of life, but you're bringing the fire. So this could be a fire sign, of course. That could be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay. And whatever you're doing, however you're doing that, you are working very hard. This is the Three of Pentacles. And again, this is mastering something. Okay. So you are working really hard in mastering your craft, so that you go from one level to the next. Okay. And that's your future. You do have that coming in. Okay. And you're going to be balanced when you do it. So the queen, or the king, Spirit's advice is to act like the King of Pentacles. Act as if you already have that. Do what he does. Don't just listen to, okay, this is how it's supposed to be. No, you get down in the trenches and you go check it out. Okay. So why is it this? Oh, you mean because you're messing with my people? And or, okay, there was a reason for that. And how can we help move the products and things? Okay, so it's also calling for patience, because you're still under Spirit's advice. So it's calling for patience, because the abundance will come, or is already there. But you need to be patient, because you're about to jump and basically take a leap of faith and start something new. And that's where this queen comes in. It's either that queen you're jumping to, or she will, where the fool is not well guided. If he has her to talk to and advise him, then there's nothing he can't do. He's not held down by any weights of responsibility. He's healed himself. Okay? And that's the medicine guardian over there. It's telling you to heal yourself. It's letting you know, the fool, always enough. He runs around with his little knapsack, and he has everything he needs. And you're waiting on important information with that oracle card again. So with the queen, it's that Four of Cups. It's like that. Spirit has been trying to give you a gift, and trying and trying and trying, and you had your nose stuck in that book trying to learn something, and what you really needed to do was look up, because you're going to learn a whole lot with that gift. Okay? And don't worry, because the Queen of Swords is up there, and if it's not something you need to be dealing with, she will let that, again, waiting for important information. That's that High Priestess card we were talking about. She will teach you, or you will have the intuition. You'll know. Okay. All right. And it looks like love's coming in. Well, and there it goes. Comes in, goes out. I'm joking. I dropped the card. All right, there we go. And the bottom of the card is the Hermit. I mean, I'm sorry, the bottom of the deck. He found his wish fulfillment. The fertility sign is guiding him forward towards his abundance, and he's found his path. Okay, and I think that's what it's telling you. You just watch what's going, watch what's coming, and you're going to be shocked because you have these aces coming in. You have this abundance. You have this love. You have an abundance of love coming in too. Okay. So we're going to do a few Archangel cards and see if we can't give you a few more messages there, Libra. Okay. And again, after this, I'm going to sweep over to the Patreon site and put up your extended. If you like these videos, please hit like, subscribe, share, and don't forget the bell icon because it will notify you of further readings, or future readings, I should say. And let's see. Like I said, when you like, subscribe, and share, it helps the channel exponentially. All right, one more. And it says compassion. So Archangel Zadkiel, soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself. And again, I mean, I cannot stress this enough. You know, sometimes the person we have to have the most compassion for is ourselves because we never do. We are usually very, very hard on ourselves. Very harsh. And if we treated each other, if we treated ourselves with as much compassion as we treat others, it would be amazing. Okay. All right. So we have creative writing. Archangel Gabriel, it's time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article, or a book. Okay, so that may be something that you're planning on doing. And nurture, this is Archangel Gabriel. As you nurture a child, you nurture your own inner child. Both activities are important for you right now. Now, you may not necessarily be around children, but it may be your own inner child that you are nurturing. But either way, it's very important. So, I hope you liked the reading. If you did, again, like, subscribe, share, and it makes the channel just blow up. So, thank you for your patience for the readings being late, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.